Hey guys, welcome back to 44's channel. If this is the first time you've been here, hello, my name is Jess. I'm a life coach and I make videos on topics within personal development. So today I'm going to be speaking about the 10 major causes of failure in leadership. And this is from the book Think and Grow Rich. This episode is actually part of a series on my channel called Think and Grow Rich. And it's in the chapter on organized planning, which is chapter 7. So before this, I have been making a different video on each chapter and each principle of success. So this book is actually about 14 different principles of success or causes of success. And this chapter 7 is on organized planning. So before I was making videos on each individual thing, but for this particular chapter, it's very long and I decided to break it up into different sections. So this is the third one and probably the last video I'm making of this. I don't know if I'm going to do, there's this one part on the 30 different causes of failure. If you would like me to make a video on that, please comment down below. But so far the first video I made in this chapter was what is organized planning, why is it important? The second one I made was on the 11 attributes of good leadership. And now this one is on the failures in leadership. So as I say, let me know if you want me to make a video on the 30 causes of failure. But now today we're going to be talking about the 10 major causes of failure in leadership. So the first one is the inability to organize details. So a bad leader is going to come in and they're going to be all over the show and they're not going to know what's going on and they're going to be too busy to fix what's going on. You know, there's people who say, oh, I'm too busy, or they just are so chaotic that they don't know what's going on. They don't know how to master any of the details. They don't know what's happening in each individual example compartment of the company. So that's usually a cause of failure within leadership, is when the leader doesn't know what's going on. As I say, they come up with these excuses, they're too busy. And so it's very important for a good leader to delegate. To realize that, okay, I can't do all of this, but I need to put people in charge of this and I need to be aware of who I'm putting in charge. So, okay, they might not know every single detail, but they know this person is in charge of that and that's where I can gain that information. And then to get some sort of summary so that they still know what's going on. Because how can a leader lead if they don't actually know what's happening in each individual sector of whatever they're leading? They're just like, oh, I don't know what's happening in that department. Oh, I don't know, do we employ that person? No, a leader needs to know these details and not be like, oh, okay, like, do our work here. Then the second cause of failure within leadership is when the leader or the person in charge is not willing to do the jobs that they are telling other people to do. So a good leader is somebody who's going to be willing to do any job that they delegate to someone else. So a bad leader is going to be someone who says, oh, I don't like these jobs, I'm not doing them, I'm not willing to do them, you do them. And then off you go do that, and they actually aren't willing to do what that person is doing. So it's like, I know with leading an army and in those army shows, I mean, I don't know a lot about war, but I know the one common theme is that a good leader is somebody who's going to walk into battle with everyone else. They're not just going to sit and be like, off you go fight my war for me. I'm just going to sit here watching you. No, a good leader must be willing to do the rubbish work. And I think this is also important because it shows some empathy and some appreciation. And it's saying that, examples that maybe a leader would say, oh, I'm too good to make the tea. Like, run off and you go make the tea. I mean, that attitude is like, oh, I'm better than you and you're not you just have an insignificant job. But a good leader is someone who would say, I appreciate the fact that you're making tea and I'm willing to make tea because I value that. Yeah, I just think that it's nice when you have a leader who's willing to do what needs to be done and doesn't just expect other people to do the hard work and they just sit back and do nothing. Then the third cause of failure within leadership is the expectation of getting paid for what one knows rather than what one does with what they know. So an example of this would be pay me because I have a degree, I have this knowledge, this is what I know, these are the courses I've taken, this is the school that I went to. So like all the qualifications, rather than pay me for what I'm doing with that information. And that's the thing, is good leaders aren't just people who know a lot of knowledge and like, oh yeah, I went to this fancy university and I studied this degree and I'm so fantastic because I know all this information. No, a good leader is somebody who may literally know one piece of information, but they do something with that information to bring value to others and to possibly bring monetary value into a company or an organization. So good leadership isn't just going to be like, haha, I have this degree, I have this degree. Or a good leader doesn't even have to have any schooling. I mean, a lot of leaders and a lot of good leaders didn't even finish university or high school. So this is somebody who does something with their knowledge in their head. Then the fourth failure, and I think this is a very interesting one and something that I often see happening, but it's the fear of competition from followers. So basically what happens is that people tend to be very possessive over their knowledge and their skills, and then they'll get people to help them, and then they're very worried that if they give more information or they give guidance, then their follower, or the protege, I think it's called, is going to overtake them and become more successful than that. But a good leader is willing to invest in others and to realize that we all have a seat at the table, and ultimately if you help someone become better than you, that's going to benefit everybody. And I just, like, as I say, it's something that I see in some people where it's like, oh, we can't give information to others and we all own information, and we have this whole like cling on to our information and our comparative advantage, if that's the right word, but like let's just cling on to it, as opposed to saying, no, like I want to share with you, I want you to grow. And if you become better than me, like, great, that actually benefits all of us. Then the fifth cause of failure within leadership is lack of imagination. So a leader is somebody who has to have a vision, and they need to imagine a better world. And I think this is especially important because if you have somebody who walks in and they're an employee and they say, oh, I think it would be great if we do this, or can you imagine what we can turn our company into, example, if we're in a company. And if the leader lacks imagination, they'll just be like, and it's just like imagination is important for adaptability and keeping up with the times and just growing. If you don't have imagination, you're just going to be stagnant and you're not going to get anywhere, and everyone's going to be completely bored because there's no change and there's no challenge. Then the sixth cause of failure within leadership is selfishness, and this links to the leader taking all the claim or doing everything just to get some praise, and then when the project's handed in and all the followers did it, they are like, oh, me, and they take all the credit. So that's wrong. A good leader is somebody who doesn't need any credit. They would rather give their credit to their followers because they know that people don't just work for money. People also work for validation. So they would rather the praise went to the followers than the praise went to them. Then number 7 is intemperance. So this basically means when somebody walks in and one day they're like this and one day they're like this, one day they're grumpy, the next day they're shouting at everyone, the next day they're the nicest, kindest person in the world, the next day they're like, oh yay, we all love each other. The next day they're like, okay, cool, let's go on holiday. The next day they're like, no more holidays. The next day they're like, you're fired. The next day they're like, yay, I love you as an employee. So that is a bad quality of leadership. People don't want to follow somebody who's up and down all over the show. There's no consistency. Then the 8th quality of failure within leadership is disloyalty. So people want a loyal leader. They want someone who they can count on. They want someone who is honest and is going to say or do what they say that they're going to do. So it's somebody that people need to trust. If people can't trust you, or if you say one thing and then you go off and do something else, or your actions aren't meeting your words, then people aren't going to follow you. People want somebody who is honest, transparent, and loyal, and isn't just going to jump ship when the goings are getting tough. It's somebody who sticks by and doesn't just cop out. Then number 9 is emphasis of the authority of leadership. So this basically means that this leader, or like not a leader, this person will walk in and they'll try to impress people because of their authority. So like the leader has these special privileges and I'm so much better than you and I'm superior and you need to follow me because of that. And I mean, it links to the next one, which is emphasis of title, so we may as well speak about them together. I think they're both pretty much the same. But number 10 is emphasis of title. And this leader, I mean, I don't know if you've ever met someone, I know I have, definitely, it was the most annoying thing ever, but this person was actually a teacher and they had this, I have this PhD and I've studied this and I've worked at this place, and they went on and on and on about it, and they were absolutely horrible people. And it's like literally no one liked them because they were just so arrogant. They had the biggest head, and it was more focused on like, I'm the one in charge now and I have authority over this classroom, I can kick you out. I mean, honestly, I feel like it comes from insecurity. I feel like somebody who's secure doesn't need to tell people, I'm the most awesome person, I'm the best one here, this is all my qualification. They don't have to tell you, they just do it, and then we can see how good they are. They don't need that constant recognition and like, oh yay. And I mean, that links to what we were saying about like the selfishness, the person who claims all the credit and needs the credit and the applause, and like that uplifts them. No, a good leader is going to be somebody who doesn't care for their title, and they definitely don't let the title do the work for them. They have to do the work, and they try to prove themselves in the work that they do and the way in which they're listening to others, they're approachable for others, but they're not flaunting it or saying, I'm good because I listen to others. They're very humble. So those are the 10 causes of failure within leadership. If you have any thoughts or any sort of images that came to mind or any memories, please comment down below. I love to read your comments and to engage with you. And then if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and then please subscribe down below. And then you'll see there's a bell next to it, so if you want notifications each time I post a new video, just click that bell. And then I'll post a new video every Saturday. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. And I'll see you next week with a new video. Bye guys!